Greeting learners. So we did finish paper one, mathematics, paper one, 2023. Today we're gonna start paper two, mathematics paper two, 2023 for practice as you are preparing for the exam. Paper one is already done. If you really want to revise, you can go through my video. You will see I've practically solved all the questions from question 1 to question 10. Now we're starting paper 2. Here's the question 1. Truck drivers travel a certain distance and have a rest before traveling further. The driver kept record of the distance he traveled in kilometer on 8 trips and the amount of time he rested in minutes before he continues his journey. The information is given in the table below. So distance traveled in kilometer, 180, 200, 400, 600, 170, 350 to 70, 300. And the amount of rest time in minute, 20, 25, 55, 120, 15, 50, 40, and 45. As you can see, there is a relation between the distance traveled in kilometer and the amount of rest time. We consider the first one to be the first coordinate, that is going to be x, and the amount of rest time will be considered to be the second coordinate y, and it's in minute. Here's the question. Determine the equation of the least squares regression line for the data. So this particular question, as you have been practicing in a class, you need to use the calculator, and using the statistic mode, we can determine the equation of the least squares regression line for the data. I'm going to take my calculator, and this question, you make sure that you have been practicing, because there are steps you need to follow in order for you to get the equation of the least squares. So if you are not practicing, it's going to be a little bit challenging. This is the easiest way to solve this question, is be able to use your calculator. So here, the steps I'm going to explain for you to get the equation of the least squares regression. So I'm taking my calculator. Here will be the solution for question 1-1. The equation of the least square regression, it's normally like the equation of a straight line. Y is equal to A plus BX. Remember, B is considered to be like the gradient of the line, and A is the y-intercept. So let's go through the calculator, and here I'm going to consider all of these numbers will be used on the calculator. So step one, you set your calculator to statistic. That is on the calculator is mode, you press mode and 2. You will see it's going to appear. Then you go to step 2 as you are watching your calculator. Step 2, you press weight written 2 A plus BX. Then you're going to press 2. And step 3, you enter the X values into the table. So here the values. When you press your value, then next you press equal. You press the value, you press equal. This is what I'm going to do. 180, these are the values. 200, 400, 600, 170, 350, 270, and the 300 finally. I've covered practically the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values. These are the values of x, first coordinate. And I'm going to use the arrows to move to the y column, and enter the y values now. Here we are. The first one. You move on your calculator, make sure you move and go to the y column, corresponding to the first value, that is 180. Okay. Then I press 20 equal. The next one is 25. 25 equal. 55 equal. 120 equal. 15 equal. 50 equal. 40 equal. 45 equal. So on my calculator, I can see these values corresponding. The last one here for x is 300, and the last one for y is 45. Now, step number 4, store all the data. Then, for you to store all the data, you're going to press AC. You press AC, and that is step number 4. Step number 5, the calculator will give you the answers at shift 1. Then you're going to press shift 1. You select 5 because you want to ask questions about the regression. Now, there are normally 3 options on the regression menu when you consider a calculator. The first option, 1, to find the equation of the regression line for the data. These are the process what you are doing. In front of your calculator, what is the next step? You press shift 1. Shift 1. And there you're going to see on your calculator, it will appear 6 numbers. 1 is type, 2 is data, 3 is sum, 4 is var, and 5 is regression, 6 is minimum and maximum. Now, after you're going to press 5 for regression. You press 5. After pressing 5, you select 1A equal. 1 is the first one. You press 1. And after pressing 1, then you press equal. The calculator will give you the value of A. The value of A is appearing actually on my calculator. Then I'm going to write A is equal to negative 23. I'm going to consider this value with 3 decimal places. It depends when I will write it at the end. I'll consider 2 decimal places. So I'm getting here 846 dot dot. That is the value of A. Now, step number 2, we want to get the value of B. If we want to get the value of B, we will press again shift 1. Shift 1. This 6 value will appear, type, data, sum, and so on. And after you press 5 regression, you press 5. It will also going to appear 5 values, 1A, 2B, 3R, and then you're going to select 2B, and then you press equal. You press 2 equal. The calculator will give you the value of B, and the value of B is 0,227. The value of B is 0,227. There are so many decimal places because after 7 days is 0, so I'm stopping at 227. Is at the end when I'm going to write my value. That way I'm going to round off this value. So what will be my Y? My Y will be equal to negative 23. I'm going to round it off here at 85. And for the value of B, the 0,227, I'm going to round it off at 23 plus 0 here, 23x. As I was saying it earlier on, is the form of y is equal to a plus bx. Here is our a, and 0,23 is our b. You're still going to keep your calculator like that, because when you watch your questions, the next question, somewhere there, they are talking about the correlation coefficient. You will need that. So you leave your calculator like that, because if you want to start afresh, the process is going to be long and then you're wasting your time, considering that these other questions are still there for you. So now, I'm going to clean the board because we have practically responded to the first sub-question. We will go to the next question, then I will need some space. Let me clean the board. My calculator, I leave it like that. Question: if a truck driver traveled 550 kilometers, predict the amount of time in minutes that he should rest before continuing his journey. So, here's the solution for this question. Remember, we got already the equation of for the first question, the equation, the least square regression line. And that was y is equal to negative 23, 85 plus 0,23x. This was the equation of the least regression line. Now, this other question, they say, if a truck driver traveled 550 kilometers, remember the x value was the distance covered in kilometers. Predict the amount of time in minutes that he should rest before continuing his journey. The y value was the rest time. So we're going to replace x by 550 in this equation. Y will be equal to negative 23 multiplied plus 0, 23. The value of x here is 550. We're going to use the calculator and get this value. I'm practically having another calculator here because after reading the question, I found out that the next question they will be asking the correlation coefficient. So I'm gonna use another calculator to get this value. Negative 23, 85 plus 0,23 times 550 press equal, and here I'm getting 102,65. Y is equal to 102,65. So this is the amount of time in minutes. This is practically the answer I'm getting here. Or I can also have if I do my calculation, or 101,02. This is the answer for question 112. So I'm going to clean the board now to go to the next question. That is going to be question 13. Here's the next question 13. Concerning our values, remember question 1, we did get the equation of the regression. Question 2, we replaced the value of x by 550. Question 1.3 is write down the correlation coefficient for the data. Remember, I was using my calculator to get the least square regression line. We got it. It was y is equal to negative 23,85 plus 0,23x. Now here they want us to get the correlation coefficient. We're still going to use the calculator. Remember I say we're having 3 steps. Steps 1 and 2, we got the equation. Now step 3, we're going to try and find the correlation coefficient. Using our calculator, we also going to continue now as I left my calculator on shift 1 to get the correlation coefficient. We're going to, in order to get the correlation coefficient, we're going to press shift 1 and this will appear again. Then we're going to press 5 for regression. We press 5 and after pressing 5 for regression, we're going to select 3. See, that way we are seeing this coefficient of correlation coefficient is R. You press 3 where there is R and then you're going to press equal. The calculator will give you the value of R. So I'm going to select 3. Then I press equal. The calculator have given me the value of R. Then R, as I'm reading on my calculator, R is equal to 0,98. I'm going to leave it with 2 decimal places. On the calculator, there is 28,97,0196. So I take with 2 decimal places is 0,98. So this is the answer for question 113. I'm going to write down the next question. That question is also not very long. That is question 14. Let me write it down, then we will see how to respond to this question. 14. 14 is saying, interpret your answer to question 13. Then we need the solution for this question. The correlation coefficient is 0,98. It's almost 100%, is almost 1. So if we want to interpret our answer here, what are we going to say? We will say we are having a very strong positive correlation. We are having a very strong positive correlation. This is the answer for question 14. We're done with question 13 and 14. There is a link between these 2 questions. I'm going to clean the board and then we'll go to the next question. We are still under question 1. Okay, so Here's the next question, and this is 1-5. At each stop, the truck driver spent money buying food and other refreshment. The amount spent in rands is given in the table below. 100, 150, 130, 250, 180, 200, 190. So the first sub-question is 151. Calculate the mean amount of money spent at each stop. Solution 151. To get the mean, you know the formula. We're going to get the total amount here, and we're going to divide by the number of this amount, the numbers. We're going to count all of them. So how are we going to write this? We will write that our mean will be equal. We're going to take all of these numbers here, the sum. If we start by ascending values, we're having 50, 100, 130, 150, 180, 190, and 2 times 200. So let's get the total of this. So we're having 100 plus 150 plus 130 plus 200 plus 50 plus 180 plus 200 plus 190. How much are we getting? 1,200. So we're getting 1,200 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1,200 divided by 8. How much are we getting? So the mean is 150. 150. The next question, 152. Calculate the standard deviation for the data. So there's a formula for calculating the standard deviation. I'm going to remind the formula. 1.5 is the standard deviation. The standard deviation were given like this. This Greek letter here, tau, is equal to the square root of the sum of this difference, x minus the mean squared, divided by the number of the data. Yes, we are having 80. So we're just going to do the calculation, and then I'll give the answer here. You need to use your calculator. After writing this, what will be our standard deviation? It means I'm going to take the first data is 100 minus 150 plus, this is the sum, the sign for sum, plus 150 minus 150 squared, plus 130 minus 150, till I'm going to get to the last value, 190 minus 150 squared over 8, the number of these values. So this is what I'm doing with my calculator. I'm considering these values. 100 minus 150, under the square root. So we are having 100 minus 150, then we're getting minus 50 squared plus the second 150 minus 150, then you get 0. 130 minus 150, we get negative 20. Negative 20 squared plus the next one. Here is going to be 50. 200 minus 150, we get 50. 50 squared plus the next one is going to be 50 minus 150, we're going to get negative 100. Negative 100 squared plus 180 minus 150, then we get 30. 30 squared plus 50 again. 50 squared. Here we're going to get 40 plus 40 squared, and all of this value here divide by 8. And what is the answer? Okay, so the standard deviation is equal to, my calculator is giving me 50,49752,469. So we're going to round it off to 2 decimal places. It's going to be 50,50. 50,50. This is the standard deviation, and this was the answer for question 152. Standard deviation for the data is here. I'm going to clean the board and go to the next question. We are still under question 1, and the next question will be the last one, question 1. Okay, so the last question for question 1, last sub question 153. At how many stops did the driver spend an amount that was less than 1 standard deviation below the mean? Solution. Spend an amount that was less than 1 standard deviation below the mean. So we're going to have this the mean minus the standard deviation. And what are we going to get here? 150 minus 50,50, and see what will be the answer here. 150 minus 50,50, we're getting how much? We're getting 99,50. 99,50. So as you can see, this is a less than 150. Yes, they were saying less than 1 standard deviation. So therefore, we're going to have one stop. This is the answer for the last question 152. So we are done with question 1. We're going to check question 2 and see how we're gonna continue. So I'm going to clean the board, then we will go to question 2. Okay, so we going to question 2 now. After we have done question 1, question 2 is still under statistic. At a certain school, the staff committee wanted to determine how many glasses of water the staff members drank during a school day. All teachers present on a specific day were interviewed. The information is shown in the table below. On the left, we're having the number of glasses of water drank per day. The first number is between 0 and 2. The second one is between 2 and 4, 4 and 6, 6 and 8, 8 and 10. For the first one, between 0 and 2, the number of staff members is 5. Between 2 and 4, the number of staff members is 15. Between 4 and 6 is 13. Between 6 and 8 is 5. And between 8 and 10, We have got number of staff members 2. So here's the question. Complete the cumulative frequency column. We are having the table given. We're just going to complete the column for cumulative frequency. And I'm going to do it now. I'm going to write it down here. Cumulative frequency. Okay. To complete the cumulative frequency, I'm going to start with 5 here. 5 plus 15, we getting 20. 20 plus 13, we getting 33. 33 plus 5, we getting 38. 38 plus 2, we got 40. So here's the answer for question 2.1. The cumulative frequency column is here at the end, as you can see. So as the space is finished, I'm going to clean the board so that we can see the next question, and that is going to be 2.2. I'm just gonna clean the board somewhere here to have some space for the next question. Okay, so here are the other questions. We still have got our result here for the cumulative frequency. 2.2. How many staff members were interviewed? We can see it here at the bottom. So it's 40. Solution for 2.2 is 40 staff members. That is the answer for question 2.2. Here is the total. Question 2.3. How many staff members drank fewer than 6 glasses of water during a school day? As we can check here, we can see staff members fewer than 6 glasses. Fewer than 6 glasses, we are here. So is that the answer is 33. 33 staff members. Then we are done with these 2 sub-questions. 2.2, the answer is 40 staff members, and 2.3 is 33 staff members. We're gonna clean the board and go to the next sub-question. If I'm reading my questions, I can see there's another question remaining for this one. Okay, here's practically the last question for question 2. The staff committee observed that K teachers were absent on the day of the interview. It was found that half of these K teachers drank from 0 to fewer than 2. That is, X is between 0 and 2 glasses of water per day, while the remainder of them drank from 4 to fewer than 6. That is, X is between 4 and 6 glasses of water per day. When these K teachers are included in the data, the estimated mean is 4 glasses of water per staff member per day. So here's the question. How many teachers were absent on the day of the interviews? So here, what are we going to do? I'm going to start by getting the mean of the data, and then we will see how to calculate the number of teachers who were absent on that particular day of interviews. So here we go. Our x will be equal to, I'm having the values on my question paper here. The number of staff members was 515, 13, 52, and the number of glasses of water drank per day they are given is x is between 0 and 2, x is between 2 and 4, x is between 4 and 6, and the last one, x is between 8 and 10. So it will be 5 times between 0 and 2, 2 divided by 2, we get 1. Plus, I'm considering the value on my question paper. And the next one is going to be 15 multiplied by 2 plus 4, 6 divided by 2, 3. Plus the next one is 13. 13, 13 times 4 plus 6 is 10 divided by 2 is 5. Plus the next one is 5. For 5 is between 6 and 8. 6 plus 8 is a 14 divided by 2 is 7. Plus the last one is 2 times 8 plus 10 is 18 divided by 2 is 9. And this is going to be divided by the total number was 40. And this will give us the mean here. Our x, I'm going to write it down here. X bar is equal. Now use my calculator to get that value. 5 plus 45 plus 65 plus 35 plus 18. I'm getting 168 divided by 40. My answer is 4,2. So the mean is 4,2. Now I'll see how to calculate the number of teachers who were absent on that particular day. So I need to clean the board here for me to have some space. As you can see here, there's no space down here. So what am I going to do here? I'll consider x old minus x current. This is going to give me x old is 4,2, the one I got here, minus 4 current, this were given. So how much are we going to have here? 4,2 minus 4, we're getting 0,2. So to get the number of teachers who were absent on that particular day, we're going to take 0,2 multiplied by 40. This is what will give us the answer. Therefore, 0,2 multiplied by 40, what are we having? Probably it's going to be 8 somewhere there. 0,2 multiplied by 40, we get 8. So the final answer will be 8 teachers. These are the number of teachers who were absent on that particular day of the interview. So we're done with question 2. We have practically covered question 2. Now I'm going to clean the boards and we'll see if we can still continue with our session.